Okay, I'm sorry about that. So we're back. We're back live, and I was talking about how I was being introduced to the same type of energy, the same type of person, just in a different vessel, right? And it was on me for me to realize you're being tested with the same spirit until you honestly till you're actually honest with yourself and address the issues that you have with this type of person, and you learn that this is not the type of person your soul is called for. This is not what your higher self wants for you. This is not what God wants for you. Now, when I pray about certain things, I make sure that I'm very clear on what I'm praying for, right? So if you're praying for something but you're getting something different, clearly that's a test of if you're really ready for what you want. Are you willing to tell those other type of people, places, and things, no, that's not where I'm at right now? Or are we just so vulnerable and want to be wanted so much that we're willing to accept whatever a person is giving us just so we can say we have someone, or just so we can say we have something? In this season of waiting, be still and stand on your ground. Stand your boundaries. When you have made boundaries for the type of people you want in your life and the type of things you want to call in, listen, God is going to give you just that. But don't think that He's not going to test your hand to see if you're willing to settle for just any old thing. And you can't just settle for any old thing. You have to, just like we say, oh, you got to be serious about things. You definitely have to be serious about your boundaries. You definitely have to be serious about your happiness. You definitely have to be serious about your soul. We're not called to talk to just any person. We're not, our soul is not called to just deal with people, because a lot of us, especially if you're very empathic, you shine a light that damaged people won't. You know, we end up ending up with people who are broken, and instead of us being able to heal them, they come in and they drain so much of our light that we end up broken also. And that is why it's very important to be still in your waiting and make sure that you heal, and that you're very clear with the type of things you want to call into your life. Because let me be clear, what you are as a person, the energy that you sit in, the way that you think, that is the type of people you call into your life. So that's why it's so important to heal fully, because now you're healed. So you're calling in someone that's healed. Now you're at a place of understanding. So you're calling in someone who understands. Now you and then you got to know that when you're the light, all kind of things are attracted to the light. But when you are aware and you have waited on God, you are able to see things for what they are and not what you want them to be. You're able to say, oh, that looks nice, but that's just not for me. You understand? Like, it's so worth the wait. And we don't see it like that. Like I said, tell everybody, okay, I've been in a relationship I was in a relationship for almost 12 years, from 2009 to 2021, June of 2021. So I have never celebrated a Christmas, a birthday, anything alone, right? I've always had a spouse with me. Well, in this year, God has placed me alone through every single holiday. Do you hear me? My birthday, I was alone. And then some people don't believe in those type of days, but I'm just being honest on the flesh level of what I deal with, what I struggle with. Now stay with me. We going somewhere. My birthday, I was alone. Thanksgiving, I was alone. And this Christmas, I will be alone. And God knew that I was so codependent on people, and I was so stern on being around people and trying to prove to them that I love them, that God had to separate me. And at first I didn't see it like that. I was still trying to bring in other people to replace this void. But the truth is, you cannot alter anything God has already put in line for you. God knows He wants me alone, right? So anybody who tried to come in my space, God made me uncomfortable with them. I began to see traits that I didn't want and things that I wasn't going to settle for anymore. And thankfully and honestly, I removed myself. And it sounds crazy because the old me would just settle. The old me would be like, oh, well, I like these qualities, even though these aren't really my I'll still stick around. But no, listen, when you are praying about something and you're really focused on calling something into your life, know one thing: God is going to give you just that. And I know a lot of people talk about manifestation as like, that's not of God. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of things. When you go deep, you'll figure out it's not demonic like everybody tries to make it. God wants what's best for us, but God also wants to see us happy. So there's nothing wrong with manifesting things into your life. There's nothing wrong with wanting to manifest it, but this is the thing. When I consider manifesting or calling into my life, when I'm manifesting, I'm making it clear, God, this and that, okay? I want someone who is loving, peaceful, understanding, a great communicator, a great listener. These are the things that that I want, that I find, and this is qualities of myself. So I'm manifesting and I'm praying for this type of person. And then I make sure I say, God, I want to make sure that this person is for my high, like serves my highest self. Like this is something good for me. You know, I want it to be ordained by you. So don't let anybody tell you that manifesting is anything. Your way of praying, your way of, producing your future and putting out there in the atmosphere and giving it to God what you want, that's the whole point of prayer. That's the whole point of it. So when you're putting out there what you want and you're praying about it and you're teaming up with God to figure out what type of like life you're gonna have. A lot of people say, when you're going on a journey with God, you never know. But this is why I tell you, just never get too attached to anything and anyone. Manifest the life you want. You know what I mean? Build the life you want. Team up with God and get it done. But never get too attached to anything. And in your waiting, that's what you'll learn. In your waiting, you're gonna learn that things that we're told aren't good. If it's not, you clear it with God. Everything that I pray for, everything that I want, everything that I'm longing for, the business, just so many different things. Becoming, a motivational speaker, anything that you're dreaming of doing, becoming a nurse, becoming a doctor, or anything, you want to make sure that you're teaming up with God and be prepared for the isolation. Be prepared for Him to put you alone so that you can figure out, you and Him can figure out what's the steps that needs to be taken, because you have to make room. You have to make room. Okay, in this season, you have to be prepared to make room, and what that means is you're going to be losing a lot of things, a lot of people, places, and things. And for the longest, I was being told you don't want to manifest. That's not of God, because manifestation is what you want, what you want, what you want. But when you have tapped into your higher self, when you have went your into that season of knowing who you are, your manifestation is what God wants for you, because you're listening to your higher self. Your higher self, that spirit that's in you, is not going to lie to you, and it's not going to walk you into darkness. It's not. You got to see it from a different point of view. I tell a lot of people, take yourself out the box and see it from a higher point of view. Even from when we're kids, we're asked, what do you want to be for when you grow up? What do you want to do? What do you want to become? And a lot of us are shutting our faith down by believing that certain things the world tell us isn't right. But the truth is, as long as you're running to God with these things, you continue to do what works for your higher self. You continue to do what works for you and God. In that season of waiting, be cool with the waiting. Be cool. Learn yourself. Really learn yourself. Because in that learning of yourself, you're killing off the old you, and you're bringing in your higher self. You're bringing in that spirit that's God-like. And I'm not saying that's God, but it's God-like. It's of God. It's the spirit that God placed in us when He birthed us. You get what I'm saying? Like, be okay with it. I'm not gonna stay on here too long, you guys. I just wanted to come and drop an episode for y'all. I dropped the episode earlier today that talked about God Goes Up Ahead. Y'all check that out on my podcast. It's also on my YouTube channel, Healing with a Purpose. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram under Diana Nicole. You can also find me on TikTok where I drop videos every single day on Diana Nicole on there. Also, that's DIANNALACOLE. You guys have a great day. I'm sending y'all nothing but love and light. But like I said, be okay with your waiting season. Stand still, learn yourself, grow, evolve, and become the person you are called to be. I love you guys so much.